Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Amazon Affiliate Insights course, and we are moving very fast. I'm impressed because last week we focused on conducting the research, doing keyword research, and selecting a niche and the basic things. We focus on the basic things last week, but for this week we are moving on to something a bit technical than what we've been doing before. We are moving on to setting up your site itself, how to go about setting up your site, creating your site, and doing the necessary technical parts. Now the truth is, this part of the training, this second week, should really not be part of the Amazon affiliations course, because I'm not teaching something new in this one. It is most of the stuff that I will show you here. You can actually get it elsewhere. You can get it, let's say on YouTube if you search for how to set up WordPress and all of that. But I want us to have like a consistent learning system. So that is why we are having this particular section in the course, so that you don't have to go back and forth in searching for the resources on how to set up your Amazon, buy domain hosting, and do all sorts of things that has to do with building your site. So without further ado, let's get started. So what the things we'll be covering today is number one, we'll talk about selecting the right domain name. We'll talk about hosting your site. Then we'll talk about installing WordPress on your site. Then after which we'll talk about setting up the theme. And then I'll talk about pages, category, and posts. And then I'll talk about the plugins, how to install plugins and necessary plugins that you should have on your site. And I'll wrap up the whole session for this particular episode. So obviously we have a whole lot of stuff to cover and we have to move at a very fast pace. So if at any point in time you don't get what I'm saying, probably you feel like I'm too fast, you can always Google search most of these things to conduct a small research on your own and come up with answers to most of them. They are nothing new. You can find most of the information on YouTube or elsewhere on the internet. So, but as far as this course is concerned, you can check the description. I'll put a lot of reference link in the video description, so that you can at least go ahead and conduct more research if there is a need for it. So let's get started with the first part: selecting a domain name. Basically, a domain name is like your address on the internet. You know how we have google.com, facebook.com, yahoo.co.uk, and all sort of that. Domain name, that is your address on the internet. Now, in selecting a domain name, every site will always have a domain name. That is very important. So in selecting a domain name now, these are the 5 basic rules that I try to enforce all the time. Number one, it must be short. You don't want something like www. probably 20 letter words. No, you don't want something like that. It must be short and maximum 10 letter words is okay. If it's not a word that people can remember easily, 10 letters is okay. And it must be brandable. You don't want something that at the end of the day, the truth is, most of the time you end up selling your niche site for, let's say, times 20 of the amount that is making per month, which is a huge amount of money. So let's say your site is making like 500, let's say your site is making like $1,000 per month. You end up selling your site for around like $25,000 per month. So part of the things that buyers will consider is if the domain name is brandable or not. So let's say you have a site about cookingpanreviews.com. It is not brandable. It does not give room for you to write about any other thing on the site aside from cooking pan. So you don't want that kind of domain name. You want something that would not contain product name, but would show that you can actually turn the whole site into a brand, just in case someone decides to buy it and turn it into a big business in the nearest future. And it must be a .com, because .com is much more common, easy to remember, and global. And it must not contain company name. So you cannot say you want to, because your site is about technology, you want to start a site and then you now register applephonereviews.com. No, that doesn't make sense. So it must not be a company name. So let me show you how to get started with selecting domain name. Now the address that I placed here, you want to, I'll put it in the video description. You want to go to this address, and once you do, you land up on I think namestation, namestation.com. Yes, so you come to namestation.com. Oh, my network. Yeah, you come to namestation.com, and I'll follow up with the example that we've been using before. You know, initially when during at the beginning of the video we started with kitchen and bakeware. So let's say we are starting a site, we have a site, I want to start a site in the bakeware niche now, or in the kitchen niche generally. Kitchen niche, that is the broad niche. So the bakeware is the specific thing you are starting with. Let's say I want to start a site that is reviewing kitchen bakeware items. So basically I might come here and put in a keyword. Let's say is kitchen or baking. Let me use baking. For example, you can come up with a single keyword or more that describe what your site will be all about, right? So you come to namestation.com. Don't forget, I'll put the address in the video URL. Then you enter the keyword and you generate names. Now, the truth is most of the keywords that you find there, they are not most of the keywords that you find here are not readily available. Most of them are taken. But then it's just to give you an idea of how you can come up with nice domain names. So I want to click on this one. Oh no, this one will require to sign up. You can just let's say cheap baker, something like this. You click on check. It will open a GoDaddy interface for you here. My network is poor today, I don't know why. So it will open a GoDaddy interface check for you to see if the domain name is available or not. So these are suggestions anyway. Easy baking, star baking, real baking, here baking. They are short and they can be easily remembered. That is the idea behind coming up with a good domain name. You see, this one is taken now. So but see, this is another suggestion that makes sense. cheapbakers.com. This one is available, right? So if that is the kind of thing, you can go for it. Or if you can't find, if that one is not available, remember it must be .com. If that one is not available, you can always come back here, look for different name suggestions, and come up with, you can even come up with your own idea, anything like that. So see, these are names based on rhymes: breaking, baking, making, baking, taking, different kind of. So just come up here and spend time to come up with the appropriate domain name. And once you see a domain name that you're okay with, then you come to this page, this GoDaddy page. You input the domain name and you check if it's available. So cheapbakers.com, right? I think this one is available based on the suggestion here. See, cheapbakers.com is available. It is short, it can be easily remembered. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 words. It is short and can be easily remembered. So once that is settled, make sure that your domain name fulfill this criteria. It must be short, brandable, it must be a .com domain name, and it must also contain company name. And remember to use the resources in the video for that. Now let us progress to hosting your site. There are two major hosting companies that I recommend, and the reason is because I've been with them for a while, for almost 5 or 6 years now. I've been using iPage. SiteGround, I started with SiteGround last year because I had to migrate one of my sites to SiteGround. SiteGround is faster but much more expensive. So usually I recommend iPage for people that are just starting out. iPage is about, I think, $35 or $40 for the first year. Then by the end of first year, all things normal, all things being equal, you should be making enough money to afford their second year hosting, which is around $150 per year. If you have money for SiteGround is about 63 or $65 per year. They are faster and they are much more better, I'll be sincere with you. But because most people don't have the resources, I would recommend iPage because it is cheaper for a starter. So you might want to check. I'll put the link in the description for you to check the link for you to access iPage hosting. It comes, I think, about $35 for the first year, and you get a free domain name as well. So let us check iPage and see what they have. I'll show you through the process of setting up your hosting on iPage. I'll give you the link. The link is in the video. So just scroll to the description of the video, click on iPage, and you are good to go. So now this is where you will land once you click on the link that I'll put in the video. So you land here, then you click on get started, right? Because it is your first time on the page. So okay. So okay, so now let's say cheap bakers, right? cheapbakers.com. That was the one we saw the other time. cheapbakers.com. So because we confirmed from here that cheapbakers.com is available, So you just come here, you enter cheapbakers.com, then you click on this plus sign. This page will come up, this to be added here. Then you click on next, choose my term. Now this part is very, very important, so that you're not going to incur a cost that you don't expect. If you want to pay for 3 years as a go, you can select this one, but really I suggest that you just do 1 year, because sometimes your site might just grow big and you be tired of iPage, because they are not really they are not the best in the market. You want something that is much more faster than iPage, but for a start, just choose iPage because it's cheaper. So it is just $35 for the entire year, first year. So once you select that 1 year, remember to click on 1 year, then you choose next, customize my terms. Now you have to be very careful here, because iPage will automatically add some add-ons that you don't need, some extra features that you don't need, so you have to unmark them. Come here, unmark this one. You don't need domain privacy. Yes, click on please remove it. You don't need domain privacy. This web security, you don't need it. This recommended site backup, you don't need it. So you unmark all these extra options that they are giving you until your price gets back to $35. So that's about it here. Then you click on continue to payment. Now on this page, you have to supply your information, your email address, your phone number, your name, your last name, street name. Then you change the country to Nigeria, postal code 234035, or just Google search any postal code in Nigeria, or just Google search postal code in Nigeria 234035 234. Just enter a number there. City, you select a city, and you select your state. Right, once you change the country to Nigeria, the state will be automatically loaded. Then you enter your card details here. You select credit card, not papers, credit card, then you enter your card details. Now the truth is, most of the time your MasterCard will work, your Nigeria issued master debit card will work on most of these sites. So I think you are good to go on that end. But if you have payment issue, you can always reach out to me. I'll guide you more on that, or you can just find the MasterCard and get it done. That makes life very, very easy. So once you submitted all the details, then you click on purchase. After entering the purchase, after clicking on purchase, if everything goes as planned, you get a mail from iPage that contains your login details and further instruction. Now I cannot show you the further instruction page because obviously I have an account with them already, but you should just follow the process and set up as expected. They will send you a link to complete your registration. So this is my own portal that I'm logging to, because I want to show you how to install WordPress on iPage. So now we've done the selection of domain name, and I showed you how to set up your hosting already, how to pay for the hosting through iPage. Then now the next thing I want to do is show you how to install WordPress on your site. This stage comes after you have completed your sign up with iPage, made payments, completed the sign up, and you've been able to log in. Just follow the instruction precisely, you'll be fine once you follow the instruction from iPage. But if you run into any problem, you can always reach out to me, share your screen with me, and I'll tell you what to do next. Now this is what the iPage backend looks like. This is what my own iPage backend looks like. These are details about my my iPage account. Should not be showing you all this, but then I believe this video is private. So yes, this is what the iPage backend looks like. Once you get your account, you want to come into iPage. This is the control panel section. You come to, now the truth is, most of the time your domain is added automatically. You come to domains and domain central, because you are getting the domain from iPage. You don't have to worry about pointing the domain to any other name server. Just come to domain and domain central. What I want you to do here is to create so once you're in the domain central, this you have just one domain here, right? A single domain will show up here. Then you click on more info. I want to carefully select, yes, you click on more info for your domain. Let's say more info. You click on this more info, then you come to pointers. Pointers is like creating a subdirectory for your domain. So once you're in pointers, you select subdirectory and you enter the name of your site that you are trying to set up. Let's say cheap bakers, or what were you working on at that time? So cheap bakers, yes, cheap bakers. Just put cheap bakers, subdirectory cheap bakers, and save. Once you do that, you are fine. Now you go back to the home. Don't forget, you must do this. It is very, very important that you set the domain to a particular subdirectory. And how you do that is come to domain, click on domain central, select on the domains option, click on more info, then subdirectory, and you select the subdirectory section. You select so in this, in directory section, subdirectory, and you enter the name of the domain that you want to work on. Now once you're at the home section, you click on WordPress to install WordPress on your domain. Now you click on WordPress, let it come up. It's taking a bit of time. Yes, so you click on WordPress. They will show you all kind of adverts. Please just close those adverts. You don't need it. Don't need the all these adverts. You don't need all these ones. Just click on WordPress and make sure that you end up on this page, right? Once you end up on this page, you are close to installing WordPress on your site. Now on your own hosting account, if you click on this domain, it will come up with the name of your hosting, with the name of the domain that you registered, http://cheapbakers.com. So you select the one with the www extension, either this one or this one. Either of them will do. It does not make any difference really, www or this one. Make sure you select the correct domain name. It will be just one or two, so you have just one or two options. Select this one or this one. It does not make any difference. This one will eventually direct to this one, and this one will eventually direct to this one. So just select this one, just select one, the domain name, and click on next. You don't put anything in the directory. Leave this place empty, because we are trying to install the WordPress software on your site's primary directory. So leave this place empty. Select the appropriate domain name here, leave this place empty, then click on next. Once you do that, it will install the WordPress automatically. Then you have your login details. Let me see if I can try and install WordPress. Man, no, there's no way I can do it here. But the idea is to just follow the instruction on this page. Follow it very carefully, and by the time you are done, you would have access to. Once you are done with the installation of the WordPress, if you follow the instruction very well, you will now have access to your WordPress backend. What we call WordPress backend is not something complicated. It's basically your domain name. I'll use one of my domains to explain this process to you. So elaborateman, that is the name of the domain, elaborateman.com. Now what we mean by WordPress is WordPress backend is /wp-admin. That is what a WordPress backend is. So while setting up your domain on iPage the other time, you will have selected a username and password automatically. So to bring up the page, you would let me show you what the page looks like, because this you are seeing this page because I'm logged in already. So if I wasn't, my network, if I wasn't, you will see a page that requires username and password, something like this, right? Then you enter the username and password that you have selected when you were installing WordPress, and you log in. Once you are logged on, you are almost there. So okay, yes, so the idea behind this is to just basically install WordPress, and we've done that through the control panel of your hosting. It is not complicated. Just take your time around it, and before you know it, you will have mastered it. So, and if you get stuck, you can just Google search it. So once you are logged onto your account, you have an interface like this. This is what we call the WordPress admin backend. Basically, that is the WordPress admin backend. Because I don't want this video to run very, very long, so I'll wrap this section up now. Then the next section will be about setting up your theme and setting up the WordPress site in general. So at this point, you should have you should have a page that looks like this. You should have what you should be on your WordPress backend, and should have an interface that looks just exactly just like this. See you in the next video.